Good Count Corla, and after their great win against the Netherlands last week, I want to begin by wishing the Ireland women's team every success tonight as they play France. Taoiseach, speaking of international sport, I want to raise the forthcoming Ireland-Israel football match. Football fans and all of us horrified by Israel's genocide in Gaza are concerned that this game will go ahead anywhere, and indeed we've been hearing from people who've contacted us in their droves with one message: they want to stop the game in October. They want you and your government to take a stand against the normalisation of genocide through sport. They want you to take a stand against Israel's war crimes in Gaza, in the West Bank and in South Lebanon. They want to stop the game from going ahead anywhere in the world. Taoiseach, this is about more than just one football match. Taking on Israel neither starts nor ends with this game. And that's why Labour have been calling for full suspension of the EU-Israel trade agreement. That's why our party has called for the full passage of the Occupied Territories Bill to include a ban on both goods and services. And we've been calling for stronger action to prevent US military refuelling in Shannon Airport. Taoiseach, this is about whether states that are guilty of grave crimes against humanity can continue to enjoy normal and indeed preferential treatment while atrocities continue. And this is not just about Israel. It's not just about Netanyahu, Ben-Gvir and their acolytes. This is about Vladimir Putin too, Taoiseach. Ireland and your government rightly condemn Russian aggression on Ukraine, as we all should do. Yet Irish-made alumina is being exported to Russia for use in weapons which are killing Ukrainian civilians. And indeed, exports from Organish alumina to Russia have dramatically increased. They've doubled since the outset of Russia's brutal and illegal war. We have spent years in Ireland debating hypothetical military deployments under the triple lock, and I deeply regret that your cabinet is approving plans to abolish the triple lock today, despite strong national support for retaining it, even expressed in your own public consultation. Yet despite that move, you're failing to take practical economic measures against Israel and against Russia, states engaged in illegal wars of aggression. Organish alumina is undoubtedly a critical industrial facility for Europe, and we're all conscious there are hundreds of jobs tied to the plant in Limerick. So a solution must be found to protect those jobs, protect people's livelihoods, but also ensure a ban on deadly exports to Russia. Organish refinery is owned by a Russian company with links to the Kremlin through sanctioned oligarch founder. And the Irish Times has reported that 80% of Irish-made alumina went to Russia in the first 3 months of this year. Now, your Trade Minister is disputing this figure, and his own department is investigating the ownership of Organish. At the same time, your government is lobbying to keep Organish off sanction lists. Taoiseach, it's easy to condemn the wars in Ukraine and in Gaza. What's harder is taking meaningful action against Putin, against Netanyahu, against bullies. So, Taoiseach, will you use our influence as a neutral country, a proudly neutral country, to stand up for international law, stand up for protection of human life in Gaza and in Ukraine?
First of all, Deputy, I appreciate that you've raised quite a range of issues in that thing, but if we could take, first of all, in terms of Israel and Gaza, the West Bank and the Middle East. Like, Ireland has taken a stand against Israel internationally, and that's well recognised internationally and within the European Union. And, you know, we continue on the humanitarian side to give very substantive contributions to the Palestinian Authority, to UNRWA, up to nearly close to 150 million at this stage. But of course, we've also, as you know, we've recognised the state of Palestine. We also intervened in South Africa's International Court of Justice case against Israel under the Genocide Convention. We made a submission by the Attorney General to the International Court of Justice Court on the legal consequences of Israel's actions in the occupied territories. Subsequently, we co-sponsored a resolution at the UN General Assembly seeking to implement the court's advisory opinion. We've been evacuating sick children along with other countries from Gaza. We've supported about 300 people to leave Gaza to travel to Ireland since the crisis began, and we've done much more than that. And in terms of the match involving the Football Association of Ireland, UEFA and FIFA have their rules in terms of their members of their organisations. Their rules provide that the national football governance bodies must act independently and be free of political interference. A series of countries have actually been suspended from international competition in the past because of political interference. That's the reality of it. And, you know, I have no truck. I'm not involved with FIFA or with UEFA for that matter. But I do believe you are correct in saying that at EU level we should be dealing in a more robust and stronger way in terms of suspending the EU-Israeli Trade Association Agreement. I've just met with the High Foreign Representative, Kaja Kallas, and in fact have been making that point. And I think she's appreciative of the very strong feeling of opinion here in Ireland in respect of that. The challenge has been to try and get a critical majority of member states to win the majority over to that opinion. And we have written to the EU Council. I want the issue on the EU Council's meeting next week. And we want that, the fact, to see can we get a vote on the issue of the suspension of that association agreement. Because I think that's the government taking its role. The problem for the FAI and the football team, and it shouldn't be on them, is that there will be consequences for the football team. And to be fair to the Irish football team, they've made a lot of ground recently, good success. They're building on that platform. Whether we like it or not, and I don't control FIFA. I think FIFA should deal with this globally, and so for UEFA in terms of its remit. But the bottom line could be here that the football team suffers in terms of seedings and all of this, and that has
Deputy Bacik
repercussions down the line in terms of other competitions ahead. And I think we need to act at European Union level. I think it's a far more effective way of dealing. I didn't get a chance to get around to every other, but I'll come back to it.
Taoiseach, I would appreciate a response on the alumina point, but I do acknowledge, as the Labour Party does, the strong steps Ireland has taken at international level in support of the rights of the people of Palestine. And I welcome your confirmation now that you've been engaging with Kaja Kallas on the suspension of the trade agreement. That is welcome. But there is more that can be done. And I'm looking at the recent report from Francesca Albanese, the UN Special Rapporteur in Palestine. She's identified Ireland as one of 63 countries that she says are complicit in the collective crime of genocide in Gaza, a devastatingly serious charge. So clearly there is much more we can do, and I've outlined some of the measures that the Labour Party are calling on you to take. And I would say this, on the football game, of course there are complexities, but it was a Fianna Fáil government in 1999 that took a strong stance against Yugoslavia, and rightly so, after the ethnic cleansing that they'd carried out in Bosnia and in Kosovo. And that was a strong stance taken in the context of an international football game, and I think many of us remember that. And that's the stance that football fans and others are now calling on your government to take in this case, Taoiseach.
Please. Just very quickly reject what Francesca Albanese said, and I would have significant issues with much of what she has said on this issue and in terms of Ireland in particular. I just want to get that on the record. And to say in terms of, if I could take Aughanish, we will work with the European Commission in respect of Aughanish. But I do have to say to you, when I heard you saying, there's many jobs at stake and a solution must be found. Let's all be honest in the House. We will work with the Commission. We're conscious there's about 1,000 people directly depending on it from a job perspective. But it's not going to be simple. And if a call is made one way or the other, the repercussions are as they are. So I don't think you should try and sugarcoat it. That somewhat is a magical way of sort of saying, find a solution to this and everything will be all right on the other side. We're not in that space. And so we will engage with the European Commission because there was a view of Aughanish being important for the European supply chain in respect of alumina. It's a European competency. Europe decides what gets sanctioned, and Europe decides what we don't put on the sanctions list.
Thank you, Taoiseach. Time is up. Deputy Richard O'Donoghue.
No more than it put.
Deputy Richard O'Donoghue.